experience. If you're wondering why I have so much. Proficient form. Plus 10% XP rate. I hope it's plus 10% XP rate on each, so this becomes 110, 60, 35, 20, and 35. I hope that's how it's gonna work. That would be amazing. Okay, this rate is quite something here. Okay, let's say you have Meteor. You don't have Blizzard, you don't have Shocknet. Just put Meteor in there. You know, you could just have more Plasma Vortex if you have. You could run Firefly, really good for countering enemy casters. You don't have to use armor ignoring spells when you run Plasma Vortex. That's the whole point of the build. Plasma Vortex launches a spinning plasma ball which deals minimal damage on impact. While traveling, the vortex sporadically shoots bursts of plasma at targets up to 4 times. So with all the augmentations, it's like firing like crazy, and it's not doing that much damage, but it's enough for you to remove the armor on the monsters. The lower your TM lags ER, of course, the higher the damage per burst of the Plasma Vortex, meaning you will lower the monster's armor faster. So my TM lags ER is only 9, I mean it's too high. I should lower it to, you should play around and have it around like 5, let's say. Do some testing. And at that point Spark is not gonna be worth running, so you should have like, you should do a spell like okay, now the ice wall is gonna be slow. That's the problem. If you lower your TM lags ER too much, you're not gonna be able to have too many ice walls running, meaning that you won't have that much mitigation. So let's say you're like, okay, no ice wall, I'm just gonna bounce back with this thing here. Now you could use Voltaic Sword, but I'm missing the augmentations for double back. That's gonna be a lot of damage. So Voltaic Sword consumes the burn and ignores. Okay, let's put this back in. Ignores the enemy armor, or let's put this. Ignores the enemy armor if the target is shocked. So actually that's pointless to run in this build because you can still run it. I mean, it's gonna bypass if they're frozen. If they're not frozen, well, you got that Plasma Vortex burning the armor off of the enemy, so it doesn't mean like the target you're gonna be attacking with Voltaic Sword is gonna be frozen, like guarantee frozen. That's the thing. So yeah, you can see the damage contribution. Okay, right now we can farm these guys. If I put Shocknet in there, it might burst all these summoners at the same time, and I'm not gonna be able to farm them for long. So let's take this opportunity to test stuff out. Okay, so like there's a lot of spells in this game. Let's go with the elementals, right? So let's just put all the elemental in there. We got Plasma Vortex, we got Amber, and okay, let's put the Spark in there instead of Amber. Reset the damage. Okay, let's see the contribution, what it looks like. For me, Lightning Elemental has always dealt the most damage. Now for the... Okay, I have all the augmentations on the fire. I don't have all of them on the frost one. And the range is gonna double. Freeze target for 1 second. Survival stuff. Some fire rate increase and damage increase, but it's not gonna make up for the difference in damage though. Like even Lightning Elemental is missing 2 augmentations. So, anyways, you could be running something like this if you wanted. You could just actually, well, Lightning Elemental right now is being cast by Ivan, right? It's being cast by Ivan. I mean, Ivan is not on the screen because I changed his skin, but the slot has 50% cast speed increase and is being cast by Ivan. That's why the damage contribution is much higher. So we saw like some 40%. Right now it's only 25 because the run just started. But let's say we put fire in here like this, reset the damage. Now you can see that fire is taking over. So that was not a good example to compare. I need to do something like this. Now if you compare fire with lightning, because they don't have any buff, either of them. At the start of the run, Plasma Vortex is... You see, we sacrifice so much survival, we can not push that far. So having Ice Wall, just Ice Wall alone is quite nice with the healing. Just it's making you take less damage, enough for you to heal, to have your healing help you survive much longer. But when you have Ice Wall with 9 stack up, meaning you take 50% damage reduction with Frozen Orb together, it's insane survival. Now this run we push further. But yeah, 30% damage contribution on the Frost Elemental. Let's put the Fire. But like you can pretty much like play around with the spells, use whatever you have. If you have Spark, have it higher TM lags ER to be able to trigger between 2 and 3 times per second. If you don't have Spark, well, play around with your spells. All you really need is Plasma Vortex in there, and you're gonna have to decide, do you want survival or do you just want pure offense? It also depends on which tower you're going to. If you're going with tower left, you should have some survival, some damage mitigation, so your healing is stronger. But if you went with tower right and you have Aegis and you survive 10 seconds longer at the end of the run, you might just go pure offense. So it's two different play styles, and it's up to you to decide what you feel like is more your style, and yeah, what you prefer. Do you want like the thing is, I prefer longer runs now because I can push much further, and I gain way more power back, and I don't have to recall that often. It's you have to pay attention like a lot when you're doing quick runs, but I feel like having some healing and some damage mitigation and some deflect from the Frozen Orb is extremely strong, and you can mix all that, or and have also Static Leap to help with survival. You could have a mix of you could just use Ice Wall and Static Leap without having Frozen Orbs, or do Frozen Orbs, and it depends what your cast speed is. If you cannot have enough Ice Walls up, just use Frozen Orb with like just Frozen Orb alone, or Static Leap and Frozen Orb. But yeah, other things, Voltaic Orb is extremely strong, bypass enemy armor, but it's 50% chance on the other targets that are not the primary target, so could even have it's a 0.93 second. I'm gonna go and use Spark, and this is, I prefer to run it like this now just because I want as much experience going into Fire Elemental to get those passives. Alright, broke 2000, still I need 499 Runites. Yeah, I'm at a point where I need to enchant, so pushing is not that great. Okay, let me quickly, yeah, this video is really long, guys, sorry about that, but I mean, you got the gist of it at the start of the video. You can pretty much just play around with your spells. The thing with Shocknet and Voltaic Orb is the lag. Right now on the options, if you have too much lag, the lightning effect, you should change to simple. Really important, because when it's on complex, anyways, it's lagging quite hard. You should your TM lags ER depending on your playstyle. If you have Spark, have it at 9. I have lightning cast speed from passive, I mean New Game Plus. You should have it to 10, but if you're further into the game, 9, maybe 8. But if you don't have Spark and you want to use Plasma Vortex, it brings your TM lag yard around 5. Play around with that. Leave me some comments what you feel like is best. But I think I might lower my TM lag yard. It's just I really like Spark. Spark is so strong, and Spark also deals damage. So it's hard to not use Spark when you have it. It is really hard to avoid using it. Okay, so yeah, this Voltaic Orb. Let's compare Voltaic Orb with Shocknet. Voltaic Orb is going to do more damage against single target, that's for sure. So when there's those trolls that are just there, so annoying. Let's see how far we can push. Now this build doesn't have survival, like it doesn't have Frozen Orb, Ice Wall, Static Leap, has nothing. It's just for pure experience toward the Fire Elemental. But let's say, you know, you could just have Static Leap in there, and it's gonna really help out. Okay, I did not see the zone we were at. We had 20 E171 power when it recalled. But we were fighting the pack of... not quite sure what the monsters are, but the green guys. It's like the green generals. Static Leap is actually really strong with Voltaic Orb. I'm used to run builds that bypass enemy armor. Just Inferno with Ice Wall, both sparked with Amber, or with Firestorm to have the passive for Inferno. So we're almost at the 20 E171 power. Looks like we're fighting the guys. Now we got those Hydras, like they are range attackers and they're just destroying us. The thing is, Static Leap slows down your run, so it's a bit annoying too. We're pretty much at the spot now. Yeah, I mean, the Hydras are burning us, so it just took longer for nothing. We can just have this in there. But then if you put this and... let's test this. Wow, already took quite a bit of damage. So Frozen Orb, when the spell to the right is fire, plus 3 ice shard, ice, plus 60% orb damage, or lightning, or bypass enemy armor. You see Shocknet, you see that lag? Yeah. So it's not complex anymore. Simple lightning effect. That's one drawback when you spark Shocknet. Yeah, that's one thing. You see the trolls? The troll. We're lowering his armor, but can we put this in there? And you see, Voltaic Orb just shines there. No, we didn't have. So maybe Voltaic Orb is stronger than Shocknet. It's just Shocknet does so much to the screen all at once. Now we can go back with let's say full survival, and you don't spark the plasma. It's gonna be slow though. And now the monsters are canceling my spark on the 5th loadout. So wait till we have those ice walls up. Alright, we have 50% damage mitigation now.